right. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy health. Happy self-care Sunday, that is. I hope that everyone is having a restful Sunday and that you're able to rejuvenate and recharge. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our June Goal Friends meetup. And let's see. Try to give you all a few minutes to come on in so that we can talk about being fit for the future. I hope you all are excited about our topic for today, well, for this month. Um, this is like, I think I went in there and put in all of the topics up through June. And so now I've got to go in there and populate topics for July through December. So if you have any topics that you feel will be a good goal friends topic, then let me know. And I will definitely be sure to get that topic on our calendar. And if you would like to present a topic as a Goal Friends member, then let me know and I'll be happy to get you set up with your topic. Let me check in right quick to make sure that we are coming through. And we are. All right. So I'm kind of doing this by myself. So I will have to flip back and forth to my comments on my phone right quick. Let me see if I can just for calendar. And if you would like to, okay, so hopefully some comments will come through. I got my phone here so that I can see comments when they are coming up. So welcome, 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 welcome to our June meetup. As I said before, I hope that you all got some Sunday self-care time in. I hope that you did something today to help yourself be refueled for the start of a new week. Hold on. Because we know that if you don't keep yourself filled up, then, you know, you can try to run from an empty cup, but I'm here to tell you that you may not go very far for very long running on an empty cup. So be intentional. I have to admit, today I went through my self-care routine. I did some skincare and it looked like it's definitely working. And I did a foot wrap and um, what else did I do? I did just a meditation with some Zen type music. And then I had some water. Yeah, I'm still drinking water. You know, we are mostly water, and so we've got to keep ourselves filled up with some water. So those are the things that I did. And I have to admit, I had to be intentional about doing it because I had to cook as well today. But I did not let having to cook stop me from taking care of myself and seeing about me. So many times we give, and we don't think about ourselves. We put ourselves last and we don't love on ourselves. And I think some of the reason why the Bible mentions on the seventh day was rest, because we have to rest. It's important to God, and it was important enough that He put it, made sure it was in the Bible to remind us to rest. Take time to refuel ourselves because we can only go so far. And a lot of times, if we be honest, we find ourselves running on fumes. And so be intentional. I know sometimes you feel like you're just too busy. Slow down, breathe, put yourself on your calendar so that you can, fill yourself back up. Rest means to refill the energy, um, sources that you have transferred to other people. That's my acronym for rest, honey. You got to refill yourself, all the energy sources you have transferred to other people. If you don't keep yourself up, you will go down and you will start looking like you're going through something. But, so be intentional about that. Okay, let's talk about today's topic for the month of June. Also, I want to welcome all of our new goal friends who have joined the group. Thank you for being a part of our group. You are welcome to participate by making your comments, sharing um, posts about goals, and just, just encouraging us to complete our goals, because sometimes it's not always easy. So we welcome you to do that. We welcome you to invite your friends or other folks that you feel who will benefit from being a part of Goal Friends. And the other thing, engage. We have a number of posts that are scheduled throughout the week. Such as we know that Monday is like wellness, our wellness day. Tuesday is our teach me something day, and then Thursday is our sound off day, and then Friday is the day that we shout out our accomplishments, and then on Saturday we invite everyone to post their links to support small business owners that are inside the group. And then, of course, Sunday is Self Care Sunday. So be engaged. When we put questions out there, take a few minutes to just let us know that you're there, how you're doing, and just letting us know that you see the posts that are being put up there. All right, without any further delay, I want to go ahead and get into the topic since we got kind of a late start today. I went ahead and went live from Facebook because there was no one in the Zoom. I created the Zoom to try to give people a little bit more privacy to be open. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on Facebook Live so that folks can go back and watch the replay. So this month's meetup topic is entitled Fit for the Future. Fit for the Future. And what does that mean to you when you think about being fit for the future? The first thing that most people typically think about is, when I proposed this question to my husband today when I was in the kitchen, he was in there with me and helping me. He was chopping up the bell pepper and the onion for me for the meatloaf that I fixed today. Shout out to the husbands that help their wives with cooking. And I asked him, what does fit for the future mean to him? And he was like most people, he was talking about diet and exercise, and basically, being able to get rid of unhealthy associations and what have you. And those are all good, though, and that is right on track of what being fit for the future is, because we know that in order for us to do anything that we are called to do as it relates to goals, it's going to take our health. And we know that our health is our wealth, right? A lot of times people think, well, money is my wealth, but no, if you don't have the health to, circulate money, you don't have the health to make money, then you're not in a good position. So our health is one of the first things that we have to take care of as, goal friends and as individuals that are trying to achieve anything significant, because, our health is important. And if you've ever had a health challenge, then you will testify to the fact of how just important your health is. If you've ever been in the hospital with a sickness, a long-term sickness, or even just a short-term sickness, you at that point you really value your health. And I know whenever I've gotten sick, I always reflected back on all those several days that I felt so good, and I didn't really honor it or give it the respect or have gratefulness for the fact that my body was performing in a way so that I could live, move, think, do the things that I need to do. But a lot of times when you're flat on your back with a health challenge, you think about all of that stuff. And so we don't want to wait until we're flat on our back before we begin to value and have a sense of gratitude for our health. Um, so our health, a lot of times I know most of us are working on our goals for the week on today. Or maybe you've already developed them, because some people work on their goals 2 weeks in advance. But I want you to look at your calendar and look at your schedule. Look at your goals for next week or next month or whatever you have. And I want you to look at your schedule, and I want you to notice whether or not you have blocked off some time for your health. Have you blocked off any time on your schedule? Do you have, as a part of your weekly goals, to do something that is a goal related to your health? Because if we don't take care of our health, it's going to be challenging to be fit for the future. And a lot of times people think, well, gosh, I can only see today. I can only see, at this moment. You think you're talking about being fit for the future. What does that mean? Because I'm dealing with so much right now. Um, and we all are dealing with a lot right now, but we still have to be a visionary type of folks, right? If we're going to be anywhere, be in the place that we desire to be, if we're going to go, um, where it is we desire to go, if we're going to achieve the things that we desire to achieve, we have got to have plans and steps and goals. So many times we have all these big, grand goals. And when you start looking at people's plans for the week and look at their schedules, you will see that people don't have time set aside to minister and nurture their health like we should, or doing the things that will help us be ready for whatever it is that's coming in our future. We know that we got to eat right. Yep, we sure do. There are certain things that we just cannot do if we want to live and be fit for the future. Being fit for the future is more than just a diet. Being fit for the future is more than most people think about technology wise, just making sure that we're caught up on technology as it's changing so that we're not left behind. But if we really want to be fit for the future, what is we got to look at how are we ministering to our health. Today is self-care Sunday, as I said before. I want to know, were you able to nurture yourself today? Were you able to, take a bath, do a facial, take a walk, or make yourself a nutritious smoothie? Were you able to minister to your mind, body, and soul? I know it's Sunday and a lot of people go to church, and they feel like, okay, well, I went to church, so I kind of got maybe that spiritual soul part ministered to today, and that's great. But I'm talking about one-on-one. When we look at the Bible, we see there are plenty of times where Jesus got alone away from everybody to check in, to see was he on course with the will of God. And I'm sure to recharge himself as well. Because a lot of times when we're in a group setting, we find ourselves just pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. And if we're not careful, we're rarely being filled back up, by people. Most people are just trying to um, connect with people. They want to be heard, but rarely do we, take the time to say, okay, how can I be a blessing to this person just by listening to them or saying something encouraging? And so if we're that person that's always giving out, then a lot of times, you need to be putting some goals on your list to minister to your self-care, because nobody is going to take care of you like you. When we're fit in our mind, body, and soul, well, when we're not fit, what does that mean when we're not fit in our mind, body, and soul? We know that it can negatively impact our present, which impacts the success of our future. Have you ever seen anybody who was struggling? I mean, you could tell that they were frazzled in the mind. They couldn't think clearly. And next thing you know, they started going through this phase where they're having a bunch of sicknesses, a lot of illness coming up in their lives. Um, and sometimes it's simply because we have not taken the proper amount of time to make sure we're staying fit for the future. There's a scripture in the Bible in Daniel chapter 1, and I know most of us have heard this passage of scripture where it talks about Daniel and how King Nebuchadnezzar had selected Daniel and Meshach and Abednego and all of his fellows. He selected them to serve in his administration. And some of the reason why he selected them was because the scripture says because they were noble. It says that they were good looking and they were smart. So how do you maintain that? Because some of you out there, you're noble, you fine, you good looking, you cute, and you are smart. So, and as a result, people they'll choose you, right? Nobody wants a loser on their team if they can prevent it. And so when you are smart, noble, and you're beautiful, attractive, you're going to be chosen for a lot of things. And as a person and a believer, a lot of times there's this certain glow that can be on us that causes people to want to work with us, that can cause people to want to do business with us. And if you are one of those people that fall into that category, how do you protect that? Daniel was selected because of those characteristics, and King Nebuchadnezzar wanted to use him in his administration. Daniel was so wise. He knew that he needed to protect his anointing, he needed to protect the gifting that God had put on his life. And part of the way that he protected that was the way that he cared for himself. I know scripture makes it about him not wanting to eat the king's meat because he felt like it would defile him and what have you. And part of that probably is true, but the nugget that I want you to get from that is that this man was committed to doing things that made him fit for the future. And if that meant for him only eating vegetables and drinking water instead of eating the king's meat, then that's what he did. My question to you is, what is God requiring of you to do so that you are fit for the future? Is it that he wants you to exercise? Is it that he wants you to invest in courses and classes that relate to technology? Is it that he wants you to invest in your mental health? Excuse me. Is it that he wants you to get alone like Jesus did? Get alone and get away more with yourself and with God? Does he want and require of you to detach yourself from people and relationships and associations that are not going to help you be fit for the future? You've got to determine what is it that you've got to be committed to, like Daniel was. Daniel was so committed to the fact that he felt like he didn't need to eat the king's meat that he began to only partake of the vegetables and water. And the chief was concerned that if you only do this, Daniel, you are going to be weak. Isn't that something how people will think that if you discipline yourself and be intentional about the things that make you fit for the future, when it comes to your health, they'll think that you're being excessive, or they're thinking that it don't take all of that, or you may be getting on their nerves because you are being so conscious about making sure you're fit for the future. And being fit for the future is more than just being aware of the technologies, investing in technology. It's about doing the things that reflect discipline, being able to say no to yourself, being able to eat things that you know is going to fuel you so that you're ready for whatever it is that God has for in your future. Daniel didn't realize how great God was going to use him. But the thing that he did was set aside a goal that I'm not going to do things that's going to defile. What does defile mean? It means things that are just not healthy. And that could be a variety of things that could be unhealthy for you, because we all have a different body makeup. But at the end of him, the 10 days of him only eating vegetables and drinking water, scripture says that he was healthier than those who ate the king's meat. Now, how is that? How is it that he didn't eat the meat but was healthier? That is interesting. You know what? A lot of times when we set aside and follow the instructions that God give us, that we need the things that we need to do, that sometimes we may not realize it's going to help us to be fit for a future event, a future assignment. And that's what this topic for this month is all about, helping us to be ready and prepared for whatever's coming in the future that we're called to do, because it's going to require us to be healthy in mind, body, and in our spirit. King Nebuchadnezzar, he wanted them to go through some training. He wanted to use them because he saw that they had the wherewithal to be used in his administration. When Daniel and all of them came off of the vegetables and the water, the scripture says that they were proven to be the wisest among all the other trainees. Now, let me tell you, if you're going to be fit for the future, you have got to be wise. And you've got to have like this divine wisdom from God. And a lot of times it comes to us greatly when we are setting ourselves aside to be intentional about being fit. How do we be fit for the future? How do I, develop my life and set my life apart so that God can download things to me so that I am the wisest, so that I am chosen. And a lot of times it's in the way that we discipline ourselves. It's more than just goals. It means absolutely very little if you are trying to achieve your goals and your mental, physical, and your spiritual is jacked up. Because if you do achieve something, guess what? You may not have that achievement or that success very long because you are not balanced mentally, physically, or spiritually. Those are the three things that we've got to remember when we are preparing ourselves to be fit for the future. All right, let me look at my other notes. Um, we don't want to be people who are burnt out. A lot of people are burnt out. And it's because they're go, 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 serving, 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 giving, giving, giving. And then there's nothing left. They can't think. They don't have the energy to go and do this next big assignment that's coming up in their life. And um, we want to be people that prevent mental breakdown. And that begins by being honest. When you know you are struggling mentally, you know that you are struggling with depression, you know that physically in your body there are some issues. If you know within yourself that physically you're not fit for the future, then there needs to be an assessment that you need to do on your own and look at why you're not feeling good in your body. Because we got too much to do, we got too much to achieve. And if you know that physically there's something going on, what is the solution? What is the solution to get you physically fit, to get you mentally fit, and to get you spiritually fit? Because those things have to be in unison when we're trying to do what it is that we've been called to do. So what does fit for the future mean? Let me go into that. When we're being fit for the future, it means that there is a time that's yet to come. It is an undetermined event that is coming that will occur in time. It is a condition of a person, a thing at a later date. So, do you know that you have some appointments down the road that are coming up that are going to require you to be fit mentally, physically, and spiritually? Okay, so how do you get yourself ready for that? There is a future you down the road that's going to require a fit version of you to be getting ready right now. There is a future value. When I was teaching at Philander, I taught finance over there, and there was this concept called the future value of money. And do you know that there's a future value of you that is coming down the pike? Future value is the sum of money that is invested at compound interest that will later have a specified amount at a later period. So in other words, when you look at the future value of money, what you do today is going to increase the value of money you invested because you're earning interest on it. So the present version of you, the things that you're doing now to help yourself to be fit for the future, is going to increase the value of how God is going to use you. In Daniel, we see that Daniel, he began to get promoted. He just began to advance. When you Google who Daniel is, you will see that God used him greatly. And it was no wonder that he needed to be wise in how he made sure that he was fit for the future. He was going to have battles. He ended up going into the lion's den. Now, just think if he had gone to the lion's den and he had been a meat eater. Lions, they like to eat meat, right? But because Daniel was a vegetable eater, that to me is, like that could have saved him, because what he did in the past helped him in his future. And when you look at his life, he was well respected. There was talk even of making him, elevating him to one of the highest positions in that at that time. And it's all because of what he did in his past. He wasn't living, doing just kind of any kind of thing with his health and the way that he ate, not knowing that was setting him up. When we do the things that help us to be fit, it gives us a certain wisdom about ourselves. It causes us to have that certain attractiveness. about ourselves that people look at and they love to see that discipline. They love to see that we care for ourselves. They love to see that we're noble and that we don't disrespect our mental health, that we don't respect our physical health, and that we don't disrespect our spiritual health. Because you can have a whole lot of spiritual health, but what about your physical? What about your mental? Are you working on that part? Or you could have a whole lot of the physical, but you kind of weak on the spiritual and the mental health. So we've got to make sure that those three are working in unison. Because Daniel had no clue how he was getting ready to be used. But what he did was develop a discipline to say that I am going to have an appetite that I can control. I am going to be able to know when I need to pull back on something and not do something so that I'm ready to serve. He didn't know that God was going to use him at the level of interpreting the dreams. And I mean, he had no clue, but because of the discipline that he had, it began to give him clarity. Because I don't know how many, when you change your diet and just change the way you eat. I don't know if you've ever did any juicing. Even when I've done juicing, you can feel yourself. It feels like you are, I don't, it feels like you are operating from a different type of energy when you just eat nothing, or you just basically drinking fruits and vegetables. A lot of people like to do, they call it the Daniel fast because of the clarity and the results that they get in their body. So my thing is, what do you need to be doing today to get fit mentally, physically, and spiritually? I want to talk about, share a little bit of my testimony. Those of you that know me know that before we had Miracle, Grove and I went through a series where we had a multiple miscarriages. And as I was preparing for our topic for this month, it came to me, to my remembrance, that how before she came, I had made up my mind I was just gonna start, going walking, and just kind of shifting the way that I was doing with my body. I just started, okay, I'm gonna try to drop some pounds. And I just started walking. I had a dog at that time. His name was Plato. He was a beautiful Cocker Spaniel. But we would go walking, and I would just start watching what I would eat. Do you know when I dropped some weight, I got pregnant with her, and I did not have a miscarriage. And I shall never forget the wisdom in that. I just started doing it because I felt led to do it. And so my word to you is that if you're feeling led to do something, by all means do it, because it's not there for nothing. That leading is there to help you to do something so that God can release something that's in your future. So I began to lose the weight, and then when I dropped the weight, do you know that I got pregnant with her and I did not have a miscarriage? She was born healthy and successfully. But it was because I began to shift myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because a lot of people have an issue with food. It could be a spiritual issue that you don't know. It could be abundance that you're dealing with when it comes to food. You can find yourself, you don't want to be a person that's living to eat. You want to be a person you eat just so you can live, right? But her birth let me know that there are some blessings that are held up until we can get ourselves fit in the present, so that whatever it is that God has that he wants to release in our future can be released. With Daniel, like I said, he was a person that committed himself to only eating vegetables and drinking water. And when it came time for him to go into the lion's den, just think if he had been a meat eater, it's possible that the lion could have seen him in a whole nother view. But because he was a veggie eater, it's like the lion, like, I don't want something that's vegetables. I need meat. And so follow those leadings. Follow the things that are going to help that seem like it's insignificant. You don't know what God is getting ready to release to you. Because I'm telling you, people in high places, when they see that your life is one that is disciplined, when people see this glory or this glow, this God type of glow that comes upon you, they want to work with you. They want you what happens is you develop this favor that you don't even know that that's happening. I remember, that happening to me with this lady. I did not know I had so much favor with this person until one time we got a chance to talk more intimately, and then I realized, oh my God, this person has been watching me. This person knew me in a way that I didn't know that this lady knew me, but she was watching me. Somebody's watching you too. Somebody's watching you right now, and you don't know them, and they are considering you for this opportunity because they are watching your life and they see certain things about your life where they can see the hand of God on you, where they can see his favor on you. They just like Daniel, he was attractive, you attractive. Like Daniel was intelligent, you are intelligent, and he was noble, you are noble. And just by you nurturing those things about your life right now, there are things that are going to be released in your future. So let me tell you, get ready, get yourself ready. Like Bishop Jake said, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Do not get stuck in the present. We want to be ready for the future. Um, let's see, some blessings cannot manifest until we're fit to handle them. We got to be fit to handle it. You hear what I'm saying? And it begins now on in our present situation. God knows some things he can't give us because we're not fit. We would kill ourselves because we haven't got our mind right. We just did our 30-day money mindset thing. Some of us can't get released the millions and the multiple millions because our mental state is jacked up when it comes to money. So we have got to get these things in order mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because if you, first of all, you got to be able to know when to push your play back so that you can seek God when you need divine instructions and direction and input. Daniel, when he needed to interpret King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, he went to God. You got to know spiritually when to connect to God because some opportunities are going to be so huge until it's going to take you having a strong spiritual connection with God because it's going to take his wisdom to help you be successful. All right. So remember that. We often plan goals, dreams, desires, but forget to count up the fitness cost it will require of us. And then we hurt ourselves or others because we didn't count up the cost. It's easy to say what we want. It's easy to say what we want to achieve, but have we counted up the cost? Some things are going to require us to be physically fit. When I look at certain celebrities, I see a lot of them working out, working out, working out, working out. Why is that? Because they know having a fit body means more money. Having a fit body means more opportunities, which makes more money. Having a fit body causes them to get roles in certain movies. Having a fit, they're just, you think that they're just working out. Honey, they are working out with a purpose. They're working out with a mission because they want to be able to have that stamina. We don't want to be the type of person where our blessing is about to give us a heart attack because we're not physically fit to have it, handle it, the weight of it, the burden of it. Because I'm here to tell you, blood pressure is a real thing. Blood pressure can kill people. And if we don't begin to work on ourselves in the areas where we know that there's a physical challenge or do what the doctors are instructing us to do, now I know sometimes you gotta be open to the leading of God, but we also gotta be consistent because I know a lot of people they don't take their blood pressure medicine like they should, and they have good reasons why they don't, but they don't take it, and as a result, there's still a little bit of some issues going on with them. But use wisdom when it comes to your physical health. Seek God and then combine that with what the doctor is saying, and I guarantee you're going to have a good combination between what the doctor's saying and what God is saying. You're going to be all right. But we've got to count up the cost. We want all these big opportunities. We want to achieve all these big goals. But what is it going to cost you mentally? What is it going to cost you physically? What is it going to cost you spiritually? Can you pay the cost? Do you have the stamina to pay the bill on a physical, mental, and spiritual level to achieve that goal? And if you feel like, nah, I need to work on my spiritual, nah, I really need to get more fit, then begin working on that now so that you can handle the opportunity and you don't hurt yourself and you don't hurt others. Because some people, they are hurt to themselves and they about to kill the people surrounding them because they're stressing them out and making them frustrated. We've got to remember that there is a fitness maintenance cost that has to be paid by us. There is a fitness maintenance cost. God gave us all this beautiful temple. Don't you know that there's some maintenance that he requires of us to take care of this body? Excuse me. He don't want us just, this is the body that we live in. Mind, body, and soul. We have got to perform maintenance on it so that we are fit for the future, so that we don't die before it's time, before we don't die too soon. We've got to have a discipline like Daniel to know that I ain't got to do it like everybody else doing. Let all them go over there and eat the king's meat. I'm not going to do that because I feel led in my spirit to only eat vegetables and to drink water. We got to have that type of mentality when it comes to our future because we've counted up the cost. And we know that anything worth achieving is not going to come easy and it's going to take a certain set of wisdom. And that's what we want to have. And when we count up the cost, it helps us to be able to stick and stay and have that mental stamina. We don't want to get all the way up to the top and then can't stay there because we did not prepare on the ground level when it comes to our physical, mental, and spirituality. Okay? A lot of people can't handle the pressure because the higher you go up, that pressure is going to be there. But if we have made ourselves fit and prepared ourselves to be fit for the future and prepared those around, surrounding ourselves that with people who are fit for the future, then we're going to last. Daniel was able to last. Like I said, it's not about money, hustle, hustle hard, go, 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 and give over here, give over there. Jesus taught us, and even in scripture, sit down and rest and minister to your mental, physical, and your spiritual. You got to take time out with yourself spiritually. And I'm talking about one-on-one like Jesus did. Get away. You've got to take time for your physical, your physical health. You got to take time for your mental. Sometimes you got to disconnect from stuff that's causing you to not be able to hear God clear, that's causing you to not know what to do, causing you to not have the wisdom or to be able to hear God or to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to us. And some of us, we are not fit for the future because we have not perfected those three things, mind, body, and spirit. We don't know how to flow with them so that we can hear the opportunity and know what we need to do to prepare for the opportunity. So I want you to audit your social media screen time. This is how we're going to tell if we're fit for the future. Because if we're wasting a whole bunch of time not remembering to do those three areas that I talked about, then that could be a sign we got some work to do. Audit your social media screen time. I want you to audit your daily schedules. Look at your calendars, as I said, and go back for the last 60 days. And I want you to answer this question. How much time did you block to do your mental, physical, and spiritual fitness? I want you to look for evidence that you were intentional, that you took some time to have mental refreshment, that you took time to have physical refreshment. You did something to make sure your cardio up, your heart up, to push your legs a little further, that you did something, you have a spiritual practice that you do. And if you don't see no evidence in the last 60 days or even very little, then y'all, that's a sign that we're not doing enough to make sure we're fit for the future. I do not want to be one of these people who God is just can't move forward with me on something because he knows it's going to require me to be more physically fit, or he know mentally I don't have mental stamina to handle stress, multiple things, or the ability to have emotional intelligence, or spiritually he know that, ooh, if I give this person this too much too fast, they are going to go into degradation. They're going to be truly the devil's child. I don't want to be that type of person. I want to have control and discipline in those areas. Okay? And you should want the same thing. Look for evidence that you are being intentional, because we've got to get control over those areas if we want to be fit for the future. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling weak a lot? Are you feeling physically like your body is just not able to get you where you need to go? Your body is not really able to give you the output that you need to go to work. A lot of us have, businesses on the side. Some of us, we're trying to do things in the community. It takes physical energy to do that, and you still got to run your personal life. Where are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling weak? Like you can't, honey, how you gonna handle $10 million if the stuff we're dealing with on this level, we can't even get our body, we're not being intentional about making sure we can handle things on this level. Because I'm here to tell you, $10 million, there's some pressure behind $10 million. There is, you think that's easy? You fooling yourself. Get yourself ready mentally, physically. Why do rich people work out? There's a reason why they work out. Why do rich people, why they be into this meditation and spirit, ministering and having a spiritual practice? Why is that? That is some of the common things that I see with rich people. They set aside time to be able to function at that level. And this is how we get fit for the future, not just a small future. We have some divine appointments. We have some events that are scheduled, that we've got to be fit now. We got to work on it now so that we can handle it, not waste it, not lose the opportunity, miss the opportunity. Because God gonna speak some weird stuff to some of us to do, and people are gonna think we crazy, but we're gonna be right on point. You know why? Because we're learning to live from the future. Um, let's see. What is the physical and mental and spiritual part of you that's screaming to you? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Those parts of you, what is it screaming to you? Because most of us, we so busy going, go, 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 hustle, hustle, hard, 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 give, 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 until, yeah, some of us are screaming physically. There's a scream, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's screaming inside. It's no longer a little whisper. It's screaming, help me, do something, do something, do something. What is it screaming? What is their mood? Are they screaming for joy? Hey girl, hey guy, you doing it. You got this physical thing down. You got your spirituality going on. You got your mental thing going on. Or is your mood like, girl, you crazy. And you better do something about it. Girl, you are losing it. You better sit down and get your mind right. Those are the things that we got to pay attention to, because those are the things that will sneak up and expose us in a way that it will embarrass us, in a way that we didn't know that we could break down so badly. We want to catch ourselves. What is your state? This is a good one. This came to me. The president always does this State of the Union address. And what is the State of the Union? It is given once a year. It talks about the important issues facing Americans. It offers ideas on solving the nation's problems. It includes suggestions for new laws and policies. What are the issues you are facing? What is your state of fit for the future? What would your state of fit for the future address be? What are the issues you are facing? What are the solutions? What are some suggestions on some policies and laws? Which policies and laws, when you bring it down to the personal level, like, what are core values and standards that you need to change? What are those issues? Because if we act like we don't know what they are and we don't sit down and take time to prepare, it's going to be mighty, mighty hard to receive those blessings that are in the future. God waiting on us. He want to know that we're going to take care of this temple, doing the things that creates a healthy body, He wants to see that we love ourselves, like on Self-Care Sunday. To me, it's like you showing God, God, I'm so thankful for this body. I'm so thankful for my heart that I'm going to do some things to help get my cardio up. God, I'm so thankful for my skin that I'm going to nurture, because these are the things that people are looking at when they want to see that glow. Whether you realize it's those things that favor that begins to beam, and people who want to work with you, help you, give you favor. That's what Daniel had on his life. He was living in like an intentional way with some discipline. As I get ready to close, I want to close with this quote. You got to start doing the things that enable you and prepare you to be fit for your future. If you're not doing it, you got to start doing it. If you are doing these things, congratulations. Keep up the good work. Be steadfast, because your reward, your opportunity, the blessing that's coming down the pike is finding its way to you, because you are doing the things to take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. It's a whole lot of people trying to run things, and they jacked up mentally. And we done seen them in the news. I mean, just flat out crazy up here. And you see they don't last long. But as believers, that is not to be among us. We've got to be fit, ready. We got to keep ourselves ready, knowing that God is getting ready to do it. Knowing that God is going to give it to us, and that we're not going to waste the opportunity, because we are conscious about being fit for the future. Not only in diet, most people think of eating right. Yep, all of that. Making sure your body got the right amount of vitamins, right amount of water, the right amount of sun, the right amount of just getting some oxygen, some fresh air. But also making sure that there's no part of us screaming, saying, help me, do something about this. All right. I hope something that I said today during our June meetup on being fit for the future has been a help to you, that little boost, that little push that you need to analyze your life, to see are you, where are you spending most of your time, and just to remind us, stop coming up with all these goals and we're not also taking care of our mental, physical, and spiritual aspect. Okay, it's much more to do, it's much more to prepare. It's basically having a disciplined life where we're making sure we're balanced. Okay. All right, have a great week, and I will see you all when we have our next meetup in June. I will be posting topics for June through December. As I said, if you have a topic that you feel is a good topic to cover, let me know. If you want to cover a topic and do a meetup for a month, then honey, I invite you to come on in and take the lead on presenting some topics to the group, because this is not just Keeler. This is all of our thing. We're in here to help each other, to stay encouraged, and to stay motivated and accountable, to make sure that we're staying on the pathway that leads to accomplishing our goals. Again, welcome to the new goal friends to the group. You are welcome to comment. You are welcome to post content as it relates to goals. You are welcome to go live in the group, to sound off. As I said, on Tuesdays, we have a Teach Me on Tuesday, Teach Me Something. You wish someone had told you sooner. On Wednesdays, we focus on wellness, because we know our health is our wealth. On Thursdays, we have a sound off. If you have some issues that are bothering you, or an experience you encounter, and you just need a place to vent, do it on Thursdays. And on Fridays, we honor and recognize the accomplishments and the goals that different ones have achieved. So if you have something you want everybody to know that you rocking it out, and you knocking it out the ballpark, then let us know. On Saturdays, we support and the small business owners in our group. They are welcome to drop their links to let people know what they do, what products that they have to offer. And then on Sundays, of course, is Self-Care Sunday, where we are reminded to be intentional about doing something on Sunday to minister to ourselves, on a mental level, a physical level, spiritual level, or what have you. All right, good night. You all have a wonderful week. And if you have any questions or concerns, DM me, let me know. All right, I love you guys so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused, stay balanced, and most of all, keep your joy. All right? Take care.